They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but sometimes, it's the final word. In today's world, snapping selfies is second nature. A quick smile, a beautiful backdrop, a moment captured forever. But for some, that moment became something else entirely, a haunting final glimpse before everything changed. From thrill-seekers standing at the edge of cliffs to travelers chasing that once-in-a-lifetime shot, these photos weren't just memories, they became warnings. Warnings that life can flip in the blink of an eye. These aren't just stories of selfies. They're stories of people, of choices, of split seconds that drew the line between life and death. Each one reminds us how fragile a single moment can be. So as we explore these chilling final captures, remember, sometimes the pursuit of the perfect picture comes with a cost that can't be undone. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Let's look deeper into the moments behind the lens, because some of them were the last. At the start of 2021, Xiao Mei was living a dream that millions could only watch through their screens. She was just 23, one of the brightest stars on Douyin, China's version of TikTok. Over 100,000 people tuned in daily to see her dance, laugh, and share pieces of her life. But what made her different was where she danced, from a crane cabin, high above the city. Her daily clips turned her everyday job as a crane operator into something magical. On July 20th, just before her shift ended, Xiao Mei went live one more time. She smiled, she danced, her followers tapped out hearts by the thousands. But then, something no one expected. Her phone slipped. In a single moment of panic, Xiao Mei reached to catch it. And in that moment, she lost her balance. The live stream turned into chaos, her screams, flashes of metal, then silence. The broadcast cut off, leaving her fans frozen in shock. News spread fast. Xiao Mei had fallen over 43 meters from her crane cabin. She didn't survive. Her fans flooded her page with heartbreak and memories. But the saddest part, behind the viral clips and the bright smile, Xiao Mei's 2 children were left behind, with only memories of a mother they'd never see again. A young life, a simple slip, and a reminder that one moment can change everything. It was meant to be a perfect day. On May 15th, a group of 20 tourists set out on a boat ride across a peaceful water reservoir in central Java, Indonesia. The sun was shining, spirits were high, and everyone was busy taking photos, capturing moments to cherish forever. As the boat cruised along, someone suggested a group selfie. Laughing and excited, all 20 passengers rushed to the right side of the boat to squeeze into the frame. But in that instant, everything changed. The sudden shift in weight tipped the boat over. Screams filled the air as people were thrown into the water. 7 never made it out alive. 13 survived, clinging to each other in shock and grief. What started as a simple photo turned into a tragedy that no one saw coming. It's a reminder that even the smallest choices can carry risks. And sometimes, one carefree moment can leave behind a lifetime of sorrow. They called her fearless. Sophia Chung, just 32 years old, was an influencer who lived for breathtaking moments. Her Instagram was filled with stunning shots, balancing on cliff edges, standing on rocks with waves crashing below. To her 35,000 followers, she was the face of bold adventure. On a Saturday morning in July, Sophia set off to explore Hackley Park in Hong Kong. It's a place known for its beautiful waterfalls and its hidden dangers. Standing at the edge of a cliff, she prepared for yet another daring selfie. But in a single slip, everything changed. Sophia fell over 5 meters. Her friends screamed and rushed to her side, calling for help. First responders arrived quickly. But despite their efforts, Sophia was gone. Her Instagram bio read, "Life should be fun and not stupid." Words that now echo with painful irony. Sophia's story isn't just about a fall. It's a reminder. A reminder that the price of adventure can sometimes be far greater than we ever imagined. They called her the Bikini Climber. Gigi Wu, just 36 years old, became a sensation in Taiwan and beyond. Her photos were unlike anyone else's, standing proudly on the world's tallest peaks, wearing nothing but a bikini. It was her signature. Her way of showing fearlessness to the world. Thousands followed her journeys as she scaled summit after summit. Each picture felt like freedom itself, mountains behind her, sky above, a smile that said she was unstoppable. But in December 2019, her final journey began. Gigi set off alone into Yushan National Park, home to Taiwan's tallest mountains. She climbed over 4,000 meters, reached the peak, and changed into her bikini for another iconic selfie. Then tragedy struck. Gigi slipped and fell into a ravine. She was hurt, but she managed to call for help using her satellite phone. Rescuers rushed to reach her. But storms rolled in, winds howled, and freezing temperatures made the mission impossible. Hours turned into days. The cold crept in. Before they could save her, Gigi was gone, taken by hypothermia in the place she loved most. Her story isn't just about daring photos or fame. It's a reminder that even the bravest adventures come with risks. And sometimes, those risks demand a price too heavy to pay. Toni Kelly was just 20 years old, but her dreams stretched across the world. From New Zealand to London, she wanted to visit every country, capturing each journey with stunning selfies for her thousands of followers. Her photos showed a life filled with music festivals in Ireland, California sunsets, and iconic landmarks like Big Ben and Trafalgar Square. But in November 2017, while staying in London, Toni tried to take one more photo to remember her trip. She leaned out of her second-floor hotel window to find the perfect angle. In that single moment, everything changed. She lost her balance and fell. Doctors fought to save her, but the brain injuries were too severe. Toni passed away soon after, leaving behind a world she had only just begun to explore. In her final act, her family donated her organs, giving strangers a second chance at life. Her story is more than a tragedy. It's a reminder that behind every beautiful selfie is a person whose life is worth more than any picture. It was a bright, sunny day on January 3, 2021. Nirupma Prajapati, a young woman from India, decided to spend it with friends at Sundarar, a picnic spot known for its peaceful beauty and flowing waterfalls. After hours of laughter and fresh air, she wandered over to the waterfall's edge to admire its rushing waters. The view was stunning. She wanted to capture that feeling, a quick selfie to remember the day. But as she stood there, a man behind her accidentally stumbled. In that tiny moment of chaos, Nirupma lost her balance. She slipped and fell into the powerful water below. Panic swept over her friends as they called for help. Rescue teams searched for 22 long hours before they found her body, trapped in rocks 400 meters downstream. What started as a peaceful outing ended in heartbreak. Her story is a painful reminder of how quickly life can change, all in the time it takes to snap a photo. They called their journey holidays and happily ever afters. Meenakshi Murthy and Vishnu Vishwanath were a young couple from India, living in the United States, driven by a shared passion for travel. Meenakshi was a gifted writer with words that painted pictures, while Vishnu was an amateur photographer capturing the beauty they found together. Their blog and Instagram became a window into their adventures. Thousands followed as they explored the world, posing at stunning destinations that felt almost unreal. On October 30, 2018, they arrived at Yosemite National Park in California. At Taft Point, over 240 meters above the ground, the view stretched endlessly. They wanted to capture that moment forever. But as they set up for their perfect selfie, tragedy struck. They lost their balance. In an instant, both fell from the cliff's edge. There was no chance to hold on. Before this day, Meenakshi had written about the risks of dangerous selfies. She asked her readers a question that now echoes with heartbreaking clarity. Is our life worth just a photo? Sadly, she would never get to answer it herself. At first glance, it looks almost innocent. A man smiling in the sun, holding what seems like an ordinary metal sphere. But this isn't just any man, and that isn't just any object. His name was Harold Agnew, a U.S. physicist who changed the world in a way few ever could. What he's holding isn't a picnic box or a harmless gadget. It's the plutonium core 4 Fat Man, the nuclear bomb that would soon be dropped on Nagasaki in 1945. That single sphere caused unthinkable devastation, ending over 80,000 lives in an instant and leaving generations to suffer the scars of that day. This photo was taken on Tinian Island, where Project Alberta prepared the bomb in secrecy. Look closely at the image. Everyone appears calm, almost casual, like they're setting up for a science fair project, not one of humanity's darkest moments. Harold wasn't just part of building the bomb. He was there when it fell, flying aboard the Great Artiste, the observation plane that followed the Enola Gay. Through his camera lens, he captured haunting footage of the destruction below, a city turned to ash in seconds. That sunny smile in the photo? It carries a weight that words can barely describe. Because behind it is a moment that forever changed what humans are capable of doing to each other. Daniel Mee and Jaden Dolman were just 20 and 25, two young men from England, full of life and dreams. In July 2019, they flew to Spain for a summer escape. The beaches of Punta Prima and Alicante welcomed them with golden sands, blue waves, and warm sunsets. It was everything they wanted, days spent swimming and nights walking under the stars. One evening, during a peaceful stroll, they found a stunning spot. A raised pathway overlooking the endless ocean. The view was too beautiful not to capture. They wanted the perfect selfie. To get closer, they climbed over the safety railing. But in that instant of risk, tragedy struck. Both lost their balance and fell over 12 meters down the cliffside. Daniel died on the spot. Jaden fought for his life but passed away the next day in the hospital. Their families were left shattered. Two lives ended not by fate, but by a single choice for a single photo. Their story is a painful reminder, no picture is worth losing everything. Traveling the world is supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime. That's what Dutch students Chris Kremers and Lizanne Froon believed when they set out for Panama in early 2014. Both were young, full of hope, ready to teach local kids and explore a beautiful country together. On April 1st, they left their host family's home in Boquete for a simple hike. They even took the family dog along. A photo shows them smiling brightly on the trail, unaware it would be their last together. Later that day, the dog came home alone. The girls never returned. When they missed a planned walking tour the next morning, worry turned to panic. A massive search began. Helicopters, dogs, local teams, they scoured the forests, but days turned into weeks with no sign of them. Then, 10 weeks later, hope turned to horror. A local woman found a backpack by a riverbank. Inside were their phones, personal items, and Lizanne's camera. The phones showed 77 desperate calls to emergency services. Only one connected, lasting just 2 seconds before cutting off. The photos on the camera told a haunting story. At first, happy selfies on their hike. Then, expressions grew serious. 7 days after they vanished, nighttime photos appeared, shots of the dense jungle, makeshift markers, and what looked like the back of Chris's head. When teams searched the area again, they found remains. Chris's clothes were neatly folded by the river. Bones lay scattered, some unnaturally bleached, while Lizanne's showed normal decomposition. One detail left everyone uneasy, photo 509. It was deleted, the only missing image between the daytime and nighttime shots. Who deleted it? And what did it show? Theories spread. Did they simply get lost? Did someone follow them? Were the photos taken as SOS signals, or was there something darker that night in the jungle? No one knows the full truth. Was it a tragic accident, or something far more sinister? What do you think really happened out there? In 2016, a Reddit user with the name Sliced Up Beef shared a story that left people feeling uneasy. She and her friend had gone hiking at Dundas Peak in Hamilton, Ontario. Their inspiration? A photo taken by her friend's cousin just days earlier, standing boldly on the scenic cliff edge with the valley stretching far below. They wanted their own version of that shot. So, they hiked up, snapped their photos, and thought nothing of it. But about a month later, her friend messaged her with something strange. While comparing their photos to the cousin's original, she noticed something that shouldn't have been there. Far below the edge of the cliff, where it was steep and nearly impossible to stand, there was a figure. Tall, thin, standing perfectly straight against the rocks. It had no visible face, just an empty darkness where features should be. The figure didn't appear in any other photos from that spot, and neither of them could explain what it was. Disturbed, she turned to Reddit for answers. Some people insisted it was just part of the rock, blending with shadows. But others weren't convinced. The torso looked lighter than the cliff, and its head and legs were darker than any shadows nearby. A few suggested it might have been another hiker. But seriously, who could stand so straight on a sheer slope without slipping to their death? Then came the chilling theory. Most selfies go wrong because of bad lighting or a shaky hand. But for 3 young girls in Utah, it went far beyond that. In October 2011, Essa Ricker, Kelsey Webster, and Kelsey's younger sister Savannah were out for a walk in Spanish Fork Canyon. The day felt perfect, fresh air, beautiful views, and laughter shared between sisters and a friend. Then they heard it, a train rumbling down the tracks. Instead of stepping back, they saw it as a chance for an epic photo. They stood beside the tracks, smiling wide as the train approached, capturing a moment they thought would be unforgettable. And it was. But not in the way they hoped. Caught up in the excitement, they didn't notice another train coming from the opposite direction. The conductor saw them. He blasted the horn for 12 desperate seconds, trying to warn them. But the sound of the first train drowned it out. That second train was moving at 39 miles per hour. There was no way to stop in time. Savannah managed to post their selfie on Facebook just before impact. In the top corner of the photo, you can see the headlights of the second train, looming closer, unseen by them, yet captured forever. All 3 girls were killed. Their families were left shattered. The train staff, haunted. What was meant to be a fun memory turned into a tragedy beyond words. It's a painful reminder that one quick photo can cost everything. Rest in peace, Essa, Kelsey, and Savannah. Bastien Palmade was just 33, a French traveler bursting with energy and dreams. In November 2019, he set off to Thailand with one mission, to recreate the stunning photos he saw from Instagram idols. From temples to beaches, every shot was a piece of his journey, shared proudly with his followers. Then he arrived at the Na Muang waterfalls on Koh Samui, a place famous for its breathtaking views and countless Instagram posts. But beauty often hides danger. Local authorities had placed warning signs and barriers to keep tourists away from the edge. Bastien ignored them. He wanted the perfect selfie, stepping over the cordon to pose near the falls. In that moment, everything changed. He slipped. The fall was over 70 meters. His body was found below in the pool, lifeless and broken by the rocks. Bastien wasn't the first to die there that year. Months earlier, a 26-year-old Spanish tourist, David Rockham, lost his life the same way, chasing a photo too close to the edge. These tragedies are not just sad stories. They're reminders that no view is worth your life. Because behind every perfect selfie is a life that should never be lost for a picture.